What is up, guys? I get a lot of questions about Guild Wars 2 on YouTube about certain things that you know, I can easily explain in the video real quick, and I was like, you know what, might as well make a video of it so everyone will get the information, you know, like kind of like Guild Wars 2 tips and tricks, kind of like what we did with the leveling video. The first question was by about how I leveled so quickly. I leveled to level 80 in about 3 days. Guys, I did a whole like let's talk with a couple of the guys, like a 40-minute let's talk of going into detail of certain things that we are going to do as soon as the game releases, and that's exactly what I did. I could explain them a bit more detailed right now. All right, the first thing I did, just like I said in the let's talk, I got up and logged in. I'm showing you guys. I got up and logged in, made my character, and then I went through the tutorial, went straight to World v World, but I got there too late. Usually you get like about a couple levels just by capturing those keeps. I mean, you get a lot of XP. Then you should have enough money to go to gathering, get a couple gathering tools. I went straight to Queensdale since there were so many gathering nodes, but also I found out Wafer Foothills had a lot of gathering nodes, and gathering nodes give you a lot of XP. Now what you want to do is pretty much go through the hearts and try to stay 2 levels behind your level. Say if you're in a level, if you're doing a level 10 quest and you're level 8, that gives you more XP. You want to kill mobs that not a lot of people kill. There's a bonus if you realize you get a bonus for certain mobs that you kill, a big bonus. It depends on how long that mob was actually alive. If you want to level up a little bit quicker, you can buy boosts. Now the boosts, in my experience, they're not really needed. But my guildies kept up with me even without the boosts. I mean, I leveled up a little bit quicker than them, but I mean, they can catch up to me in literally just 30 minutes of it, because it really matters mostly about the hearts and dynamic events and the XP you get from them than actually killing the mobs. But it does really give you a boost if you use it wisely and at the right time. You can definitely get a big boost from it. Now what I did is pretty much go through all the areas very quickly and do a lot of the dynamic events, and there was a lot of them later on. Some maps were a little less dynamic events, but you'll definitely find them as soon as you walk into the area. If you really like the area, you're gonna stay there for a bit. And what I did is I cycled the dynamic events. There's some events that spawn very quickly if you pretty much completed them, and there's a lot of them that really go into a chain, and those chains are really good for XP. So if you're helping them push back the centaurs and you're attacking the town, you attack the town, you push them back, it goes to another camp within 2 minutes. You can actually hear them talking in between each event, and it takes about 2 minutes for it to spawn, maybe even 1 minute most of the time, unless it glitches or something like that. I mean, the game is just released, there's a lot of lag, but you keep going, you keep pushing, and then the end event will be some humongous boss. I mean, this is for like almost every single area. It's amazing. Now I mentioned earlier that gathering is very good. Gathering is good for a couple reasons. Even if you do not want to craft, it's very good to gather all the stuff that's around you, because you can sell it to get money. And if you're like me and who like to get gear and you like to have money on you for resetting your traits, your buying armor, weapons, it's good to have money in your pocket. Now what you do is, if you want to craft, I would consider going into cooking if you want to level, because cooking gives you so much XP. I mean, I'm not even joking, it's so much. I don't understand why it's so much XP, but it is, and it's very fun to do. Really fun to do. There's a couple websites I can give you that can really help you with the crafting. It gives you all the recipes that are known and some of the places where to get some of the recipes. The karma vendors really sell a lot of the juicy stuff, and you could buy them in bulk with karma, and they're very cheap with karma. Once you get to later levels, you're gonna have so much karma that's like, it doesn't matter, you know. Now I didn't know it was so easy to cook, so I never really done any cooking when I was leveling up. I mostly did it straight through the whole area, because I went to every single area, because I just that's how I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed going through the whole area, and it was crazy fun. We fought some dragons, which I'll definitely record later for you guys. And if you want a detailed talk of just 40 minutes of us just talking about leveling and all the little tips and tricks that we did, go ahead and watch the video. I'm pretty sure I'll put it down in the description so you guys can go watch it if you just so desire to do that. Now, you can't really power level per se in Guild Wars 2. Let me mention that you cannot power level. Like, it's, if you're in a bigger area and you have a level 80 friend, all you do if you're trying to get XP off mobs is like try to tap it a little bit and try to get, you know, some of the XP, because, you know, in Guild Wars 2 you tap it, you get the full amount of XP. You can't do that because you do glancing blows, so that means you do no damage to them, so you can't even hit them for one. So they make sure you stop you from doing it. I'm pretty sure there's ways around it, but I don't know any of that type of stuff right now, and I'm pretty sure they don't want you to do that. Basically what I did is that I put a lot of time, and I was never standing still AFK. I was always playing, I was always with the hearts. And one key factor is that I had 2 guildies with me throughout the whole thing. That's what helped me, because us 3 can challenge a much heavier enemy and get more XP for it. So we were challenging 2 or 3 levels above us and going through the areas. I mean, that's tough, but with if you have some really decent skill, you can get through them. You're gonna have 2 devoted friends with you, you know what I'm saying? I know one, I think 2 people is still good, but just one person, it gets a lot harder. It gets a lot harder. But that's it. I'm done. I know some of you guys don't like to hear about leveling, so I'll stop it right there. Now I'm gonna move on to armor. A couple people were asking me about, oh, how you get armor sets, how does this work? All right, in Guild Wars 2 you can buy gray armor. Grays, they're just the base stats for each armor. You can buy from any vendor, any armor and weapon vendor. They scale to your level, so every 5 levels is what you're gonna see inside the shop, and you can actually buy 5 levels later on. So if you're 20 and you go to the shop and you see 20 and 25, and you can buy 25 items right there and equip it when you reach the level 25. Now, a couple people didn't know this, but when you have enough karma, you don't have to do it the early on levels, but when you start getting halfway to level 80, you want to look, if you have some karma, look up the karma vendors that you see around you. As soon as you complete a heart, look at the karma vendor. You got to get used to that. Just look at the karma. It took me a while as well. Sometimes they will have gear sets spread out to all the karma vendors, and they are really good gear. Now, especially if you're trying to survive a lot better, the gear really helps. It really does help. Out-leveled gear will get you killed over and over again, and the game becomes not fun. That's what I had to learn for myself, and I'm sharing the information with you. Now, if you want to buy a whole set and you don't have enough cash, but you have a lot of karma, or you're doing a lot of World v World, there is an area in World v World, internal battlegrounds. There's a couple vendors off to the left hand side as soon as you come out of the portals. Now there's one that you can buy a bunch of armor, and one that you can buy a bunch of weapons using badges. There's different tiers, and they're probably the best armor. It scales with your level, so even if you're level 20 and you do a lot of World v World and you want to get some really good armor, you can buy it if you so desire to do it. For me, if I'm gonna spend that much of badges or something like that, I would do it at level 80, which is exactly what I did. I saved up a lot of karma, and I went to the karma vendor there that's in the middle, and I bought basically the master work of my level. I went with master work, which is the kind of I would say medium, right? So there's the regular ones, right, the blues, then the greens, and then rares, which is the golds. I went with the greens, the masterwork, because It's cheaper and it gives me a big boost than what I already had. I mean, a humongous boost. These armors are very good. If you have the money for some blues every once in a while when you're level 20 and not level 80, I recommend getting blues, by the way, when you're between level 1 and 80. If you really want a big boost, if you're gonna do, for instance, a dungeon and you need a nice good armor to survive it, definitely go there and get you some level 30 armor or level 50 armor if you're going to do that dungeon. But yes, as I was saying before, let me explain it a little bit more clearly. There's the blues, greens, and rares. I don't consider the rares worth it because the change is in 1 or 2 points, even though it probably is worth it, but it's not worth the money that you're paying for it. The karma is like 4k, 4k for the greens, right, and 9k for the weapons, and the weapons, by the way, you have to scroll a little bit more down. I couldn't find the weapons in the beginning, so that's why I'm mentioning it. And the rares cost about 14k each, as you can see in the video. That's way too much. I only had about 50-60k when I completed everything and I was level 80, which I'm going to go back and do map completions throughout the whole area, and I do a bunch of jumping puzzle achievements trying to get 100% eventually. Eventually, I'm working on it. But yeah, it'll be good to get enough skill points so I can start working on my legendaries. I would love to get the Great Sword legendaries. Does that look awesome? And I'm a fan of the Great Sword. I use nothing but Great Sword and a staff to buff my allies with my Guardian all the time. That's what I do. So yeah, guys, leave me some feedback down below. I wanted to make something like this because I talk with my guild all the time, and we talk about little tips here. Oh wow, this works well with this, oh this works well with that, and you know, I get a lot of questions from YouTube, like I mentioned before, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should just sit here and talk and let you guys know, you know, the tips that I'm finding out, and you guys can kind of grow with me. Now, more content is coming soon. I'm going to start just the storyline for my Azuras very soon, and you guys will be able to see the whole storyline. I can just go right through them and release it to you guys. So yeah, leave me some feedback, guys. Tell me what you liked. Do you like this? Do you want me to continue this? Do you want to ask me more questions? Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.